All right, let's dive deep into sports psychology today.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
We're going to be looking at this link between, like setting goals
Okay.
and then uh, how teams kind of bounce back from setbacks,
Yeah, I like it.
that resilience factor.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got this research article
Oh, cool.
from the Ghazi Journal of Physical Education and Sports Sciences
Okay.
that really gets into this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when was this article published?
It's from 2022
Okay.
by Ender Sheenel and Mehmet Ulaş.
Right?
And the title's kind of a mouthful, but it's Decreasing Vulnerabilities, being revealed during stressors and increasing resilient characteristics, the role of goal commitment in team sports.
Wow, they really packed it all in there, huh?
They did.
It does sound like a really good deep dive, though.
Yeah, we're going to uncover how goal commitment actually boosts resilience, and not just for the team, as a unit,
Right.
but for like each individual athlete too.
I'm intrigued, yeah.
Yeah, and I think along the way too,
Yeah.
you might even find some things that kind of apply to your own life too.
Oh, I bet.
How you deal with things.
I like that.
So when we talk about team resilience,
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is it's not just, like physical toughness or whatever.
No. Also, it gotta be more like mental.
It's like a mental toughness.
Yeah.
It's like this collective ability to just stay focused
Yes.
when the pressure's on.
You got it.
So give me an example. Like if you've got a basketball team and they're down
Okay. Yeah.
by a few points in those final minutes,
Yeah.
would a resilient team, would they just fall apart or would they stay calm?
A resilient team, they're going to stay calm, they're going to keep that communication going, and they're going to trust in each other to make the right plays to pull out the win.
So they're not going to start blaming each other.
No,
or,
we're not going to lose their cool.
Yeah, they're going to keep their focus on what matters.
Exactly.
That's really
So
interesting.
that's where you get the contrast with the vulnerabilities.
Okay.
This study, they use vulnerabilities to describe the opposite of resilience.
Okay.
So that's where you get the negative communication. That's where you get the blaming each other. That's where you see them kind of fall apart under pressure.
So it's almost like vulnerabilities are those cracks
Yeah.
that appear when things get rough.
You got it.
And a lack of resilience is what kind of makes those cracks get bigger.
Precisely.
Interesting.
And what Schnell and Ulish found is that goal commitment is a major factor in whether those cracks get sealed up or the whole team just crumbles.
And that brings us to the study's main finding, right?
Yeah,
Goal commitment is the key
it is.
to both individual and team resilience.
That's right.
It's almost like this chain reaction,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So think about a time when you faced a challenge.
Okay.
Did having a clear goal help you push through it?
It's funny you say that. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
It really does.
It gives you something to strive for.
Gives you a reason to keep going when things get tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this applies to teams too, right?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes total sense. But
Yeah.
how do they even measure commitment in this study?
That's a good question.
It's not like a thing you can just see.
You can't really just observe it directly.
Right.
So they use this scale to measure something called unidimensional target-free commitment.
Okay.
It sounds complicated,
It does.
but really it's just breaking down commitment into three parts: dedication, volition, and responsibility.
Okay.
So dedication, that's about how much you actually care about reaching the goal.
Oh.
Volition is like your willpower to actually do what it takes.
Gotcha.
And then responsibility is all about feeling ownership of that goal.
So it's more than just hoping something will happen.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to be actively putting in the effort, right?
You got it.
Now, I'm curious,
Yeah.
did this study look at individual goals versus team goals?
They did, and they found a really interesting connection between the two.
Okay.
They saw that team goals can actually turn into personal goals for the athletes,
Interesting.
which then makes their individual resilience even stronger,
It boosts it even more.
like a ripple effect.
Oh, cool.
The shared goal creates these individual waves of motivation.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. It's like they take ownership of that team goal and really make it their own.
Makes sense.
And, the research actually supports this.
Oh, okay.
Hasel and Ulash, they found that commitment to those team goals
Yeah.
actually had a bigger impact
Oh, wow.
on reducing those vulnerabilities than individual goals.
So striving for something bigger than yourself.
It's like it unlocks this next level of resilience.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But how do we, take this research and make it practical?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
So one of the big takeaways for me
Yeah.
is the importance of communication.
Right, because we talked about that.
Yeah. Remember, clear communication, positive communication,
Right.
it's a hallmark of team resilience.
Right.
Well, the study suggests that goal commitment strengthens that communication even more.
It's almost like it's the glue
Yeah.
that holds the team together when things get crazy.
Keeps them all on the same page.
Yeah, so if everyone's really committed and they're all on the same page,
Yeah.
they're more likely to communicate well even when things are tough.
Exactly.
Like when the pressure's on.
It's like that shared dedication creates a common language, a purpose.
And keeps them connected.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like when you're working on a project
Yeah.
and everyone is just like super passionate about it.
Yeah.
You're all on the same wavelengths.
You just click. Yeah.
You're bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah.
And even when like roadblocks come up,
Uh-huh.
you're able to work through them together
Together.
because you have that shared commitment.
Exactly.
You nailed it.
And the study even says that leaders can encourage this by reminding the team about the goal
Oh, so it's not just,
and how important it is.
like set it and forget it.
No, not at all.
You have to keep that goal like front and center.
Front and center, yeah.
So like team meetings,
Team meetings.
pep talks,
For sure.
even just casual check-ins.
It all makes a difference.
It can really make a
We
difference.
keep that sense of purpose alive.
Right.
But communication, that's only part of it.
Okay.
The study also talked about how important volition is.
Oh, right. Volition. Yeah.
Willpower.
That get it done attitude.
Exactly.
So teams that have lots of volition, they're more likely to like bounce back from those setbacks.
Yeah, they don't just give up when things get hard.
They dig deep.
They find a way.
They keep going.
That's right.
Now, you can't force volition,
You
right?
can't force it, but you can definitely create the right environment for it to flourish.
Okay.
The study, it suggested giving people chances to make decisions
Oh, interesting.
and take ownership
Oh, I like that.
of your roles.
So it's about empowering those team members,
Empowering me.
giving them a sense of like agency,
Yeah,
and that can actually make their willpower stronger.
it really can.
Interesting.
And when people feel like they have a real stake in the outcome,
They're going to be more invested.
they're going to go the extra mile.
Absolutely.
We want to see that goal happen.
I'm seeing a theme here.
What's that?
Communication,
Mhm.
purpose, volition.
Yeah.
It all comes down to creating a culture
Yeah,
of commitment and resilience.
that's it.
It's not just about individual skills.
It's about that mindset.
Yeah, like that collective mindset that helps the team thrive.
Even when they're facing challenges.
That's a great way to put it.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Every team faces setbacks.
Right. You can't avoid them.
What happens when that roadblock appears?
That's the real test, isn't it?
It is.
Does the team give up?
Or do they come back stronger?
What did the study say about this?
Well, they found something really interesting. Teams with high goal commitment,
Yeah.
they actually reframe those setbacks in a positive way.
Oh.
Instead of focusing on the negative,
Uh-huh.
they think about what they can learn from it
So they're learning from their mistakes.
and using it to move forward.
Yeah.
It's like that saying,
What's that?
it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up.
Right.
Commitment gives you that inner strength to get back up
Absolutely.
and keep going.
Now, this research was all about sports teams.
It was.
But these principles,
They can apply to so much more.
like what?
Think about families, communities, even entire nations.
That's a whole new level.
It is.
So it's not just about winning games.
It's about building stronger units.
More resilient units.
Yes, as a whole.
Could fostering this goal commitment be like the key to overcoming challenges on a much bigger scale?
It's a great question.
Yeah,
The potential impact is huge.
it is.
But before we go too far down that road,
Okay.
there's one more detail from the study that
Yeah.
I think is worth talking about. So remember that scale we talked about?
The unidimensional target-free commitment one.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, Chanel and Ulash, they found something really interesting
Okay.
about one of its parts.
Which one?
Responsibility.
Oh, right. Feeling that ownership of the goal.
Exactly. So they found that when people had a strong sense of responsibility towards that team goal,
Mm-hmm.
it actually changed how they saw stressors.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, if you feel really responsible, you're more likely to see challenges as like opportunities
Yeah.
instead of these like impossible obstacles.
You got it. It's like responsibility is this buffer
Okay.
that turns those big stressors into like manageable things.
I'm really seeing the power of goal commitment.
It's amazing, isn't it?
We usually just think about like actually achieving the goal.
End result.
But this research is showing that the journey is just as important.
It's about the growth you experience along the way.
Ex-
And it's not just limited to sports.
Right, we talked about families, communities.
Even whole countries.
It's pretty inspiring to think about,
It is.
how fostering that goal commitment could help all of us.
Could make us more resilient.
Yeah, and lead to success in so many areas of life.
It shows how connected we all are.
Yeah.
Whether it's a sports team, a family,
Our community, even the whole world.
having a common goal is powerful.
It really is.
This deep dive has been so insightful.
I agree.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
And I'm way more motivated now to really go after my own goals
That's great.
and to think differently about the challenges that come up.
That's what it's all about.
To our listeners, we encourage you to think about the goals that really matter to you.
What are you striving for?
Maybe this deep dive has given you that extra push.
Or a new way to look at things.
Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.
Don't forget that.
And if you embrace that journey with resilience and purpose, you can achieve amazing things. You really can.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.
For another exploration into the world of knowledge and ideas.